Hello everybody, welcome to the first preliminary results of the first week of the Grand Review Challenge. So I have been receiving several requests. Where are the first results? Why are you not publishing the data? What's going on? Please give us information. So for several reasons I did not yet publish the rankings. Number one, because I was on vacation. Number two, I was fighting a little bit with the Google Forms to make everything work. And the most important one, number three, the Liquidhearth power rankings of the first week are still missing. So as the ranking system is based on the Tempo Storm meta snapshot and the Liquidhearth meta snapshot, the ranking will be kind of preliminary. It's very likely that the power ranking of Liquidhearth will still be missing for some days. So I think they will skip the first 1 or 2 weeks. And what I will do is I will just take the first ranking and make that count for the first 2 weeks. But you can let me know in the comments what you think about that. Alright, so here we have the data. The ranking will be without the first Liquidhearth power ranking because that's not published yet. And we have 162 plus 1 participants. I removed some duplicates here. I will explain shortly what the plus 1 means. You will get several charts. Like this one, for instance, here it's the Astral Communion card. You get to see how everybody voted and yeah, get a nice chart. And before you cry out, hey Tommy, you made a mistake, you have 166 participants. No, that's removed duplicates, but I was not able to make the charts from the Google Forms. Because I could not re-import the Excel data into the Google Forms. I will also make an Excel sheet publicly available with all the data and all the formulas, so then you can look up your exact rank and you can even play around with the data if you like and come up with some own rankings and publish that. So yeah, I'm curious to see what people do with this data. So here you can see the charts again with the 166 responses with some duplicates. Yeah, this is how everything looks like. You get to see how the people voted. For instance, here you can see everybody or almost everybody voted for the Damascus Aspirant, that it's going to be competitive. Then, I don't know, here you see almost everybody voted that Acidmore is not going to be competitive. So, yeah, you can really check this out. I will put the link in the description of the video. And, yeah, you can have a look at it here. It's, of course, lots of data because it's 132 cards. And, yeah. You can still see that 3 people voted that a Poison Blade is going to be competitive. Yeah, but that's alright. Okay. So this is the Excel sheet. I will explain it for you guys so that you can make use of it and adapt it according to your needs, and that you can even perform the evaluation and the rankings for yourself. So the Excel sheet is organized in several tabs. The first tab contains all the data. I removed the email addresses, of course, because many people don't want their email address to be published. So you will not get all the email addresses, but you will get all the nicknames and all the responses from the people. So yeah, here you see all the cards and what people voted and the nickname, and that's basically it. The next tab is the Tempo Storm meta snapshot, and what I basically do is that when a card appears in a meta snapshot in one deck list, I insert a 1 into the respective field. and that's it. So that means the card is listed. And a 0 means, of course, the card is not listed. And it's 6 weeks, because the challenge is going over 6 weeks. The next step is the same for Liquidhearth. Here data is still missing, so I cannot insert anything yet. The next one you should not change at all. This is automatically filled from the other two forms. So when you insert the data into the Tempestorm tab and into the Liquidhearth tab, then the combined tab will automatically fill if both have a 1 there. The next one is the full results. So here you should also not do anything. Here you will see how many points you got for which card, or how many points anyone got for the card. So for instance here, someone got 2 points because he voted that Aviana is not going to be competitive. And the last tab is the complete results table summarized, like summed up all the points. And it's sorted by the highest rating. So here I didn't insert the points yet for the Tempestorm meta snapshot, because I still plan to use the Liquidhearth power ranking. Yeah, that's it with the Excel sheet. This will also be available in the video description, so you can use it, manipulate the data if you like, do your own evaluation with your own rankings. It's totally up to you, that's fine. And yeah, you can check your ranking, your position, whatever you like. Let's have a look at the experts. I did manage to convince Nocturne from Tempestorm to join the challenge. If you don't know who Nocturne is, I really recommend you to go to tempestorm.com and search for articles by Nocturne. They are really excellent. I already mentioned an Excel sheet by him doing my quick guide to reach the high ranks. So his articles are really amazing. I think he's a really experienced player. Yeah, so that's our first expert. Our second expert is a friend of mine. It's a German player, very well known in the German community, the Enclaves from HearthstoneNews.de. So he has been legend, I don't know, since the beta. He might not be known internationally, but in the German community he's very well known, also for organizing the German Hearthstone League. The +1 Trump gave me a really nice present, because he made a YouTube video where he would categorize all the cards, or classify all the cards in 4 categories: in the great category, the good category, and bad and trash. So what I did is I inserted in his name all his answers into my challenge, and I choose this line as border for competitive and not competitive. So everything he rated good or great is supposed to be competitive, and everything he rated bad or trash is supposed to be not competitive. I have no idea whatsoever if Trump agrees with that, so it's very unofficial, but still I think it's kind of nice to see what some really big guy is answering or telling about the cards. And yeah, you get an idea how good he evaluated all the cards. And the last one is myself. I do not really consider myself to be an expert, because that's the first big expansion coming out when I am playing. So I have no idea. I wasn't here when GVG came out. I didn't play Hearthstone yet. But yeah, I guess since I'm doing the challenge, people might be interested on how I end up in the ranking. So yeah, just for your information, I'll tell you how I voted and what my ranking is. Alright, now let's talk about the cards a little bit. So we have some new cards in the meta. I will not talk about all the new cards because it's just not enough time. So here are some example cards which most people predicted to be competitive, and they already show up in the competitive scene, so I will not talk about it very much. Of course, we have the 2 Druid cards, we have Effigy and the 3 Shaman cards, and the Varian Wind, so many people predicted that. But let's have a look now at some close calls. For instance, we have the Savage Combatant. That's really interesting because people voted like really 50-50 if this card would make it. And in fact, it's listed in the first Tempo Storm meta snapshot. So if it's also going to be listed in the Liquidhearth power ranking, what I assume will going to be happen, that means it's going to be competitive. And let's see how people voted. So Enclays and I said, okay, this card is not going to be competitive, and Nocturne and Jump said it's going to be competitive. So good for them, they get the points. Next in line is the Spellslinger. Another really close call. So on average, people said it's going to be competitive. And Enclays and Nocturne said, no, this card is not going to be competitive, but Trump and I said it's going to be competitive. So finally here I get some points. Then we have, of course, the Dragon cards, the Wormwest Agent. That was also kind of close call. Many people said it's not going to be competitive. Nocturne said it's not going to be competitive, but Enclays, Trump and I said, okay, Dragon Priest, that's going to be a thing. Yeah, as the Tempo Storm meta snapshot is confirming us. So yeah. Next card is Alex Dresser's Champion. That's not such a close call. Many people said it's going to be competitive. All the experts agreed kind of here that it's going to be competitive. Next in line is everybody's new favorite, the Secret Paladin. So competitive spirit. I was really surprised to see that almost 80% of the participants voted that competitive spirit is going to be a competitive card. So did Nocturne and Enclays. Trump and I said it's not going to be competitive. And yeah, this card is also of course listed in the first meta snapshot of Tempo Storm. I guess you already know that Secret Paladin is really a thing right now. Almost everybody is playing it. And yeah, that's because of this card, the Mysterious Challenger. Okay, I want to make this very, very clear. The effect of this card is going to be super bad. Because for that effect to trigger, you need to put actually the 1 mana secrets in your Paladin deck. And that's horrible. You don't want to do that. It's even more horrible that this card is so big that it's 6 mana. Of course, 6 mana, 6/6 is quite alright. But it's weaker than a Boulder Fist Ogre. And the Boulder Fist Ogre is already not seeing play. So the stats are kind of already. And the effect is super weak because you put in all the small secrets in your deck. And before turn 6, you will have drawn many of these stupid secrets, and you don't want to play these secrets. Yeah, here many people actually said that this is not going to be competitive, including 3 experts. Nocturne, Trump and I said it's not going to be competitive. It's too weak. But Enclays, he got it. He got the big point. He predicted that this card is going to be super strong. So what I missed here is that there is some synergy with the Secret Keeper. If you put in all the simple secrets, all the low-cost secrets in your Paladin deck and the Secret Keeper, you kind of have this Undertaker effect again. And that's something I totally didn't see. And of course, on turn 6, you draw many cards from your deck, and there's really good synergy with the Divine Spirit. And yeah, so the deck is pretty strong. I still think it's not the strongest deck out there, but we will see how the meta is going to evolve, and I'm also really curious to see what the Liquidhearth ranking will say about the Mysterious Challenger. I'm very sure that they will list it, so this card is definitely going to be competitive. And I totally got it wrong. Yeah, that's it. And to be honest, I think Competitive Spirit would not end up to be a competitive card, so everybody, almost 80% would be wrong, if it wasn't for the Mysterious Challenger. So this card is kind of pushing the competitive spirit into the competitive scene. So yeah, the 80% kind of here got really lucky that this other card was going to be competitive. Some more interesting cards. The Murloc Knight. Almost 75% of all participants said that the Murloc Knight is not competitive, including the three experts, Nocturne and Glaze, and me. We said, no, this card is too weak. But Trump got the big point here. Trump said, okay, Murloc Knight is totally competitive. So what I missed here is that it's really strong if you manage to get the Inspire value multiple times. I was like, okay, yeah, most of the time you will get something like a 2-2 or even a 1-1 Murloc, something like that. But the thing is, the Murlocs really add up value. Because they buff each other, and if you manage to press that button 2 times with this card, then it's totally overwhelming. I think, yeah, I'm really convinced I will play this card right now. It's super strong, and yeah, good for Trump, he got the big point here. Next card is Gormok, or how I wrote it, Gormol the Impaler, in the forums. Sorry for that spelling mistake, but yeah. Many people said it's not going to be competitive, a little bit more than 58%. And yeah, it's listed in the first meta snapshot, and Nocturne got the point here. Alright, now let's have a look at the first ranking. This is the ranking with the Tempo Storm meta snapshot. So at place 1 we have a player named One Trick Pony. And yeah, here I will just list the top 10, so you can check if you are in the top 10 or not. And yeah, of course I will give you the results for the experts. Nocturne is very, very close to the top 10, as so Enclaves. Trump and I are a little bit far behind. Many people are likely to lose points here, because in a future ranking, a card where they said it's not going to be competitive will show up, and then they will lose some points, of course. So this is a really preliminary ranking, but anyway, now you get an idea how the challenge works, and yeah, what the standing is so far. Okay, I'm really curious to see how the next power ranking of Liquid Storm will look like, because I think they will not list some cards which were listed by Tempo Storm, because they usually just list the top 20 decks, and Tempo Storm lists something like the top 30 decks. And yeah, very curious about that. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please leave questions and critics in the comments as always. And see you in the next week, hopefully then with the Liquidhearth power rankings. Bye bye.